Hello, folks. Welcome again to another edition of the Archery Shack Shop Talk podcast. I think this is number 29.
Yep.
I'm
Sure
Jeremy.
is. I'm TJ.
We're back again, 29th week in a row. I'm excited. We just got done with the video that's going to come out in the next couple weeks. I finally took my entire bow apart, took the limbs, swapped out the limbs to a lower poundage that I wanted, put our strings on them, tuned it, walked back, tuned it, paper tuned it, put everything on it, balanced it in the bow balancer. It took about 3 hours.
Yeah.
I knew it would have took a long time not videoing it, but anytime you video or we video something, it takes twice as long because you got to kind of get the camera ready and do all this stuff. And anyway, I'm glad it's over, but it'll be a hell of a video. Give it a week or two and I'll get it put together because it was a bunch of parts.
It was.
But I'm glad it's done. Now I just got to get my sight tape ready and I'll be ready to shoot again.
It's about time. You've been saying that for how many months now?
Well, see, here's the story. You know, obviously.
Yeah.
They messed up and sent me a 70-pound bow. Well, a tournament bow, who's going to want 70 pounds unless you're shooting like IBO and worried about speed? So, 60, 61, 2 maybe is it. So they told me don't worry about it. We'll send you new limbs, and they did. And I just temporarily backed it down to 60 and had left the factory string on it. And there's nothing wrong with the factory string, but us being string builders, I'm going to put our strings on it. So I've had them built for a while, a long while.
I'm surprised they still pearly white instead of dusty.
We've been to a couple shoots, and I didn't even have the peep tied in all the way. I just wrapped a piece of serving around it, just a quick, so I could shoot real quick. But anyway, so I got my bow together, and I just got to get my sight tape on. I still think I need to tweak my peep height. It felt good, and then I got outside, and it felt like it might be a hair high, but that usually happens with me. It'll take me a time or 3 to get it perfect. So we got a featured product.
Yep.
We're whooping out a bow today, and it is the Bear Paradox.
Solo cam version.
We actually have got one in the shop in the cool Fred Bear camo.
Yes, we do.
This, for the money, is a good idea. We've already sold several of these to people that came in and said, I'm more or less a beginner. I don't want the cheapest thing there is. I want something decent. And we're like, check out the Paradox, and they love it. So we got the Solo cam version sitting here, and read them off the specs on this bad boy.
All right. It's 330 feet per second. It weighs in at 4.3 pounds. It has a 6 1/4 inch brace height, 32 inches axle to axle. Here's a big key with a lot of hunters and people is 80% let off.
Mm-hmm.
And this joker is pretty adjustable. It'll go from 23.5 inch all the way up to a 30.5 inch on the draw length.
That's what I like.
And then you can either get it in a 45 to 60 pound or a 55 to 70 pound in draw weight.
I'm a fan of it. It comes as a package. It comes with a Trophy Ridge sight, Trophy Ridge quiver, a whisker biscuit, stabilizer, wrist sling, and peep sight, and they are $450. Am I saying that right, Laura? I should have.
No, I meant to bring. I think they're $550 to be honest. I think they're
I got my numbers mixed up. Sorry, but anyway,
but that's for a complete package where pretty much you need a release and some airs, and you're ready to go.
Yep, and it's like it's got metal limb pockets. A lot of the cheap bows have plastic limb pockets, and they don't usually give trouble. But if something happens, you bang it hard, it could crack them. So this is one of the stouter bows, but for a good price. So definitely check it out. I'll put more information down in the details if you want to order one. Some stuff to look at and click on. So check them out for that $500, $600 price range. Like TJ said, by the time if you had to buy airs and a release and all, you're going to be around $6.
Yep.
But still, that's a heck of a deal. And it shoots good for that price range of a bow. It's still got the lifetime warranty. I like the grip on it. It's just the right thickness to me. So, like I said, check the link out down below. That's our featured product. Bear's got some good stuff out this year. We've done well with it. It's the first year we've really stocked a ton of bear stuff, and it was like let's see what happens. You know what I mean? And around Christmas time, we were selling them left and right.
Christmas time, we couldn't keep a couple of them in.
Mm-hmm. So this was one of them. So check it out.
Yep.
What we got going on next?
You ready for some questions?
I reckon.
All
if they
right.
send them in, we'll answer them.
All right. First one comes in from Aaron on Instagram. What is group tuning?
Group tuning is sort of simple. I'm gonna put it as simple as I can. It is shooting a group of arrows, making a change of some sort, and shooting another group of arrows, and you do whatever changes you want to do and see what shrinks the group. Now, I like to do this at 60 or 80 yards, you know what I mean? Get a little distance to where your group's going to fan out. Don't do it at 20 where they're already touching. So, like, I'm going to back up to 80. Let's say, I'm going to give you an example of stuff I've tested like this before. Fletching. I was like, all right, I don't know if I want to shoot vanes or feathers. So I fletched me like 5 arrows with vanes of whatever, I think it was whatever it was I was testing back then, and 5 with feathers. And I shot the 5 with feathers and on a piece of paper, because you don't want to just shoot them one time and be like, well, that's the one. That you want to really, get 50 or 100 shots and really document what happens, because what if you made a couple bad or good shots? So, shoot them over and over and over, then make the change, shoot them over and over and over, see what that tells you. So let's say I was doing that, and it said the vanes are shooting. It's at 80 yards. I'm getting a 1-inch tighter group with vanes. All right. So now in my head, I'm like, okay, vanes it is. But now should I shoot them straight, offset, or helical? So then I take, say, 3, 3, and 3, and I do straight, offset, and helical. Same thing over and over and over and over. And I say, well, this offset one, it shot another inch tighter than the rest of them. So now I need to shoot the vane. And you could go on forever, because you could be like, well, now what vane do I want to shoot? So you could do all kind of stuff. But it don't have to be vanes. It could be draw weight, or what I originally did it for was, back in the day, tiller tuning was a big thing, and that's where you would start with your bottom limb, you'd back it off a quarter turn, shoot 20 arrows, document it, back it off a half turn, shoot 20 arrows, then you'd do it to your top limb, and then you'd say, all right, in this combination, the limbs agreed with each other, that's the word I'm going to use, or shot the best, so I'm on, and what that really did was, if you had a bow with crazy deflection numbers, in my head, it would say, all right, the bottom limb likes it here, the top limb likes it here, and together they like it here. So if you had some stiffer limbs by just a few deflection numbers on the bottom and the top, you could get it perfect. And I'm not saying that may not be a good thing to do today if you've got the time, and it's not gonna get you much for the time you're gonna put into it, because it would take hours to do, and I mean, we're talking very, 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 very little results. And I don't know. I hadn't done it in a long time. I don't really see the need for it. If I was a pro shooter, I would maybe do it and flop limbs around and do all that type of thing, but you don't really need to do it unless you're having an issue. But that's just an example of group tuning. So group tuning, shooting a group, documenting it, let's say 50 shots, making a change, documenting it. Did it get better? Did it get worse? A lot of people don't realize at longer yardages, you can actually have too much drag on a vane, and it'll open your groups up, believe it or not. I've tested that before too. I took a 2-inch vane with a pretty heavy offset, and I took a 4-inch vane, this was like early 2000s, and shot them, and it shot good to a certain distance, and then after like 60 yards, the 4-inch vane started getting wider and wider, and I'm like, what in the world? And I got to talking to some people that are better thinkers than I am, and they said, that's too much drag. And I was like, I didn't know that was a thing, but I learned it then, and I've retested it a few times, and it's the truth.
Man. All right. How do hunting or archery field staff work? Paul from Facebook.
Paul, it's a it's a long story.
Yeah.
It can work great, but a lot of times it's a big crock. So some companies offer a field staff position just to give somebody like a 10% off deal and for them to sell more products. And I mean, that's fine. If that's what they want to do, do it. But then when you fall into that category, it's like you see people at the local club that don't know what an air arrest is, and they got a shirt on that says they're a field staffer or whatever for a certain company, and you're looking at them like, it's one of those people.
Yeah.
The way it should work, and it does with a lot of companies, is first of all, you would fill out a form or send in like a shooter's resume, and you'd say, all right, on a yearly basis, I go to Kansas twice a year. I've shot this many deer. I've got this on video. I do or don't already rep for these other companies. And then during the summer, I shoot one ASA shoot where I have a best finish of 4th in my class, and blah, 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 blah. You provide them with a lot of information. You need to provide them with value is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They need to be like, in my opinion, if I'm going to sponsor you, I need to know that you're going to sell product for me. And for this shop, that would be somebody that, like if we got a local shooter that goes all over the place shooting, and I feel like I could give him a bow and we would sell 10 or 20 bows because of him, well, that's a no-brainer. But we have people all the time wanting on some sort of a field staff or a whatever, and I'm like, all you do is shoot in your backyard and comment on other people's Facebook pages about bow hunting. That's not going to work. So my advice would be, if you wanted to go down that road, definitely
it's almost like a job resume.
It is.
You
need to show them you're going to provide value and you're going to sell product for them.
Yep.
And it needs to be something you believe in. We got several people, and I'm not going to mention names, locally, and Lord, they're on the field staff for 25 companies, and then they don't even own half of those products.
Yeah.
They just wanted to put it on their Facebook page. And I so bad want to reach out to those companies, because some of them we deal with, and order stuff for the shop to sell, and be like, please, for the love of God, check these people out, because to me it makes the company look bad. You know what I mean? We know one person that shoots for 2 different stabilizer companies at the same time.
Yep.
If either stabilizer company would pay attention and see that, I mean, who in their right mind, if I was a company and you were shooting for my competitor, I mean, it don't make sense. So
No,
that tells me a couple things. One, the companies don't pay attention. And 2, that person's a dumbass. You know what I mean? But anyway, so the way it should work is you provide value to that company, help them sell product, and it be a product you believe in. And even if, let's say, they accept you onto the field staff, and then halfway through the year you're kind of like, I think I like this other product better. Well, if you signed with, say, a year for them, you still continue to promote their stuff, and at the end of the year you can tell them we're going to go a different route. But anyway, that's kind of what it is. So usually you get some kind of discount, 10, 20% off. I mean, if you're really good, you're getting free stuff, but that's very, very few people.
Few and far between.
But you're getting some kind of little discount, and then they're pretty much asking you to rep their product. And in the social media age, that means a lot of things. That means, like us, I don't want to be one of those people. You know what I mean? I want to shoot what I want to shoot. I'll never be a field staffer for anything. But I will express my opinion about stuff that I really like. You know what I mean? And stuff that I really like, since I own this shop, I'm going to have in the shop. But anyway, with social media, I mean, there's a ton of things you can do. If it's something to do with hunting, bow hunting, even if it's a couple pictures, I'll tell you who the best person in the world that does this is, and we're going to have him on here, but he don't know it yet. Randy Ireland. He calls it Obsession TV or Ireland Outdoor Productions. He has about 10 or 15 companies that he's involved with, and every single day he's on Facebook making videos.
Multiple times a day.
He's making videos of himself hunting, whether he kills something or not. If he kills something, he's got video of it. I mean, and he does good with his, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't think twice about doing anything for him, but for that one good guy, there's 10 other ones I know that on their Facebook page it says they're a field staffer for 20 companies, and like I say, most of them don't even own their products. I mean, what? Anyway, I done went down a trail here, but
well, I know I guess I'm still over it, but we get field staff applications in all the time, and I'll go through and read them. We have a form that you have to fill out to send in to us.
Yeah.
We're not accepting applications right now. So,
And that's for our bowstrings.
Yes.
And, one of the first questions we've asked people is, oh, I'm going to do this, that, and the other for you, and I want to be on the field staff. Have you bought one of our strings before? No. Well, how do you even know they're worth a flip? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, no, we're not playing this game. And we went down that trail about 5 years ago and got some of the dumbest. I'm trying not to cuss people that I've ever seen in my life. So,
well,
we still got a few that do us good.
Yeah.
But I bet for 100 people we got 2 good ones. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I can't tell you how many applications I sat down and read, and the ones that I went through and I said, okay, I'm gonna pull out of 200 applications, we might have pulled 6 apps, and me and Jeremy sat down and said, okay, let's keep this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get a little bit more info on this guy. We had one guy send in an application, we accepted him, and like a week or 2 later, somebody was on Facebook asking about a string.
I remember this.
And
he recommended somebody else.
He recommended a competitor. And we're like,
delete.
You're on our field staff. So pretty much, that was it. We cut ties right there, no questions asked.
And that's the difference in, like, we see what goes on Facebook. There's tons of stuff that our customers do that I see, and I'm like, you dumbass. But I don't comment. They don't even know that I've seen it. But I see it all, believe me.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, the field staff thing's just we quit really even fooling with it, 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And like I say, we got a couple good ones that we kept.
Yep.
And I mean, very few. And other than that, it's sort of a joke. And most of those little applications were screaming, I want something free. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what the gist of it was. And what they didn't what we did, and I thought it was smart, was we had some tiers. You know what I mean? Like, if you're brand new, you're going to get like 10% off or 15 or whatever it was. And those people, like, you'd accept them and they'd never send back the confirmation. You had to be doing some stuff to get some free stuff. I mean, like, we had to know.
Yeah, we sent a contract, Yeah.
And I think that's the way to do it. And that's probably the way most people do it. You know what I mean? You need to do this for me, and we're going to provide this for you. But like I say, if you don't even own the product or hadn't tested it, I'd like to have a Gerber knife. Let me contact Gerber and see if I can get on their field staff, even though I've never owned a Gerber knife. That's bullshit. You know what I mean? If you don't even know if the product's good or never owned one, you just want a discount, go on about your business.
Yeah, but there are good people out there.
That's what I was about to say. I just made all this look bad. I didn't mean to go down all this trail, but
no.
If you're legitimately going to promote their product and really, something you're a big fan of and you're sold on, absolutely reach out. Just make sure you're professional about it. Put together some sort of I call it a shooter resume, but even if you don't shoot tournaments, you could be like, I film my hunts, I put them on YouTube or Facebook, I average, 12,000 views per video within 6 months, and I got this much of a following on Instagram and all that. If somebody sends me that, I pay more attention to that than them saying, I go to the ASA every year and get 12th usually or better. Well, that's good too. But if you can show me you've got this many people watching you on social media, that's a pretty big thing,
And I say we ended on this, but here, I'm going to throw it out there. If me and you, especially me and you, wasn't, doing what we love to do as far as archery stuff, if we was working a regular 9 to 5,
we'd be porn stars. Is that where you were going?
No, I wasn't going that direction.
Shit.
We would probably, if we were shooting competitive and we were filming our hunts and stuff like that, then I know we would reach out to some of these companies as far as sending in a resume to rep some of these products.
Yeah.
There's stuff that I got that I bought with my own money that are sitting in a box somewhere, and I'm like,
Here's a good example. Back in the day, and they're still great, but Matthews, I know 96-ish, 2 or 3 people, mostly my daddy's buddies, got a Matthews, and they were so excited about that bow, they told everybody. You know what I mean? And I'm not. There wasn't on any kind of field staff, but I'm just saying it was a viral energy about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even into the 2000s when we were at Bucks and Bass, Matthews was doing so much stuff. It was like everybody needs one of these, and we sold them left and right because we were so excited about it. And that's the way it should be if you're on a field staff, not just wanting something for free.
We're probably going to get some hate mail on that one.
I don't care. It's the truth.
I know. But anyway, so we hope we answered that question. All right. Next question comes in from the 864. Did y'all hear about the Matthews Bowtech lawsuit?
Oh, man. We got some doozies today. Hang on, let me answer this text. Okay. We did. And it was like, so if you hadn't heard about it, I'm sure you have because it's all over the internet, but everywhere. Matthews started a lawsuit 2 years ago, and it was involving Bowtech using a cam design that Matthews had designed and all this stuff. So they won the lawsuit. Matthews won the lawsuit about a week ago. They didn't disclose the numbers, but there's a settlement, and then they have to pay a royalty on each bow sold, and it listed all the Bowtech bows that had that technology, and it was like 15 of them. So I bet
it was a good many.
Mega bucks. And what I've read through people that are in the know, on cam design, Darton owns Rex Darlington. He owns Darton. He owns a ton of cam design patents. About any 5-piece set he's getting paid for. 5-piece set on a newer bow because he designed it. So the guy that I read that said this, he said most companies are paying between $60 and $100 in royalties per bow that they sell. So you figure, thousands and thousands of bows per year for the past, since 2010 it said.
10 years worth of bows.
Millions and millions of dollars is going, and I'm sure there's some payment thing going, or I don't know how they rigged it up, and it ain't none of my business really, but I love to know about it. So that's what happened. Matthews got a patent. Bowtech stepped on their toes and used something that they should have been getting royalties for. They sued them, and now that's a mess. So, yeah, we read about it. That was sort of big news for the past week or so, and I got so tickled because people were posting on the internet and was like, and people were believing it was the funny part. They were saying, if you own a Bowtech, if you don't put a Matthews sticker over the Bowtech limb decal, you're going to pay a royalty. And people were like, are you serious? Where do I need? And I was like, oh Lord.
Man,
I guess we could, if there's anybody out there who believes that, if you already own the bow and all that, you don't have to, you're good. No royalties have to be paid by you. But Bowtech, I think it's going to take a hit on this one. Like I said, I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but I bet it's in the millions and millions of dollars, I would imagine, between all those bows being sold. So, that hurt. Yeah,
that does hurt. Our next question comes in from the 843. Which big shot target is the easy pull one?
The Iron Man. That's the one, like we have people shoot up close, like 3 feet away, and pull it out with 2 fingers.
Yeah.
Look down in the description, and I'll put a link to them if you want to buy one. And if you're local, come in here, and we got a demo target. And every time I'm back there working on a bow and I hear TJ tell somebody to shoot at it, I just grin because 9 out of 10 people, and I'm not kidding, 9 out of 10 people that will take one home with them that day because it is that easy to pull. And I had a guy shoot a crossbow in one time from in here, 5 feet away, and 2 fingers, boop, it'll slide right out. So we've got a little bit of feedback about them. They're wrapped in a plastic case, I'm going to call it. It's not a case, but
boxing.
That sounds better. And I know one guy that left his outside, and he bought his a little over a year ago and said it's still going strong. So I know we had some people saying, well, what happens if you leave them outside? Well, so far for a year, this guy's had good luck. So they're heavy.
The 18-inch is not so bad, but you step up to the 24 and the big 30-incher, you might want to be able to build you some kind of stand or get you a little wagon or something to put it in, and you can fold the sides like a little lawn.
You can't shoot broadheads at them.
No.
I don't know. We probably said that before, but it's field tips only, but they pull right out. Like I say, look in the description. I found a way to ship them. So if you want one, click around down there. Appreciate it.
We're going to have fun with this one.
We've already had a lot of fun. Probably lost half our subscribers already.
No, but this is a legitimate question. But comes in from a texter from the 213. Can I use a pipe cutter on my Carbonaires?
I've heard this a lot lately. I don't know why. No. Carbon is fibers, and they generally, on a Carbonaro, they wrap the fiber. So, like, one layer will be going one way, and underneath it will be going sideways. What's the word? Vertical and not diagonal, vertical and horizontal. So you're cutting through those fibers and just making them fray out all crazy, which equals a split, which equals an air blowing up and going in your hand. So no, do not do that on a Carbonara. You used to could do it on aluminum. It wasn't ideal, but I knew a guy that did it, in a pinch or whatever. But no, on carbon, it'll just fray them up.
Yeah.
And the air will could explode. So we had somebody in here say that one day, and I cringed. I was like, no. He's like, I've done it before. And I'm like, I don't care. We're trying to not let you die here, buddy.
Yeah, so please don't use a pipe cutter.
Nah. What else we got?
You want to tell them about the giveaway? If you...
I love a Coca-Cola.
If you watched our live feed on Thursday, we kind of hinted at this. Well, we actually announced it, so it wasn't hinted.
We got these Rage Turkey Extreme Broadheads we're giving away. They'll be given away, is it the 19th?
The 19th, Thursday the 19th,
so
live.
It'll be this coming Thursday. It'll be the next Thursday, live that night. And we're going to do it the same way we did before. On this podcast, comment a number between 1. Let's do 1 and 100, because last time we had too big of a gap. So let's say 1 and 100. You only get one comment. It's got to be on this podcast, on this underneath in the description on YouTube. We're giving away, and we'll ship them to you if you're not local, of course. Rage Turkey. We figured turkey season was coming up. These are 100 grain, 2 1/8 inch expandable turkey slayers. So we'll ship these to you. We'll do a random, when we do our Tech Thursday live feed, we'll do the same thing we did last time. Do random.org. It'll let it pick a number, see who won, ship it out.
But we'll remind everybody on Thursday when we do our live feed again.
We'll keep reminding people, but just remember it's got to be on because we don't want to have to go through 20 videos and try to figure out. It's got to be on this podcast, and I'll keep reiterating that each video we do.
Yep.
Rage Turkey Extremes. The new PSC rep came by yesterday.
Yep.
He is a nice fella, although a Yankee. I know y'all are some Yankees watching. And that's fine. He was very nice. He was in the military, so I appreciate his service. He's been with PSC for
14 years, I think you said.
14 years.
Yeah.
His name's John Brown. He comes from the Northeast. He was a Northeast rep, and he randomly pulled up yesterday and spent about an hour with us, so we got to know him a little bit. So I'm glad of that. We've had about 2 years of no rep come. Well, there's been a lot of switching around at PSC.
Yeah.
And it kind of had us concerned. And they've done some reorganization of their leadership, and now he's a rep, and I think he's a good connection. And so anyway, we'll see. We'll probably play with some PSEs going forward and do some reviews and stuff. So I'm glad he stopped by.
Yep. Well, do you want to break the bad news to him, or do you want me to do it?
I'm not breaking any news.
We did not attend R100.
Man, it kind of sucked. Friday was when we were wanting to go. It was like 31-mile-an-hour winds, and we were just kind of like, well, and it's probably a good thing we didn't go because we had a lot of traffic in the shop.
We did.
And ultimately, that's kind of what it boils down to. And then today, I got several texts of people that were there, wanting to know if we were there. We didn't go today. Today's Saturday when we're recording this, and then we still got tomorrow, but I don't know.
We got bows to work on.
We got bows and babysitter problems and all that, so it don't look like we're going to make it.
Nope.
So that's sad. I was wanting to make a nice video about it.
Yeah.
Although, which I'd have win. The wind would have been a mess, and like I say, we had so many people coming in, but I bet it is a mud hole down there.
Oh, man.
It rained. It's rained for 2 weeks straight. I don't know. I guess they put the targets out in the rain. That's about the only thing they could have done.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, but I remember the last time we went, I remember when you come down, if you've ever been there, you'll know, but if not, when you came down to drive, that very first year, they parked us all on the right-hand side down through there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the next year, they parked us over behind, there's a horse arena right there, a little training arena, and they parked everybody over on that side, and it did the same thing. It rained all week, and it stopped like that Thursday, and we went over Friday, and we was sitting there thinking, we gonna get stuck out here because it was just mushy and miry.
I remember seeing several people spinning, you know.
Yeah. But it never fails. About every year when R100 comes, it rains like the dickens before.
I don't know that I know the last one we shot, I think.
It rained on us going over there.
But it was windy, I think, that Friday. What?
No, it was a Saturday afternoon because I think they were calling for the rain to come in Saturday evening, and we was on the way back.
People's texting me like crazy. And we're not even live.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, I hate we missed it.
Yep.
I was thinking a while ago, should we try to go tomorrow? But I don't know.
Well,
I just completely redid everything on my bow. It'd be a mess trying to go.
Yep.
And like I say, babysitter problems. I'd have to find one. That could be interesting. But
anyway,
it's a good shoot.
It is. It's a fun shoot.
This
really
one's the first one of the year, right? It's in Homer, Georgia, which is about an hour from us.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely try to hit it next year.
I don't think they're going back to Mount Airy, North Carolina.
I don't know why they stopped going there.
I don't either.
It does go to Alabama or somewhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know when that is. I mean, we could look into that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
tell them about the upcoming videos we got coming out.
We have got. I told y'all about. I redid my bow. It's going to take me some time though. It probably won't be this week. It'll be like 2 weeks before this one comes out. But I took my Prime Black Series 9, stripped it down, changed the limbs, put strings on it, set the cam timing, put the loop, the peep, all the accessories on it, tuned it, paper tuned it, walk back tuned it, all that. It'll be like an hour video. It's funny because I've got to where, like, when I do the stupid stuff, you know, like when I'm tying in a peep or whatever takes a long time, I've got to where on these videos I'll just kind of time lapse it, works real quick, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of people that text me and are like, we love the videos, do some longer videos, so this one's going to be a long one.
Yeah.
And then we've got, I know we got a VXR video that's going to be coming up, the 28-inch bow, restringing and tuning it. We've got a PSE bow that had a limb issue. We're going to probably video putting the limbs on it and restringing it. Oh, man, we got all kind of bows in there we could do. We got some Elites in there to restring.
We got an Elite, we got a Halon 6. And
we had like 6 bows dropped off this week for strings, which is kind of unusual for this time of year.
Yeah. And we got a Infinite Edge Pro back here to do too.
We'll video, I don't know if we'll video all of those, but we'll try to get several. Definitely the VXR because everybody's interested in the new Matthews. So we got those coming up. I know Kiwi's got a shoot the last weekend of this month. We'll probably try to hit, and that'll be a video. So I don't know. That's just some stuff. We want to do a crossbow video at some point coming up. So
yeah.
we'll get that together because we hadn't really done one. And so we got some pretty good stuff coming up. Got some more Thursdays coming up. We did the peep sight tie-in on our first one just because I thought it'd be kind of simple, but it turned out being a mess because we're plugged into lapel microphones trying to move around the shop. So after that one, we were kind of like, whatever we do, we need to kind of stay stationary. Yeah. But we may do some arrow and tuning stuff coming up. We're not even sure yet. We'll figure it out before Thursday. So.
All right. String twist versus arrow rotation.
I've had several people ask me about this lately. So the way most string builders twist their strings, including us, is if you're holding it out in front of you, the right side is twisted clockwise to the right. And that, if you take a bare shaft and shoot it out of that bow, it will twist to the left. And I've had people ask, I think somebody posted something, I'm sure, because it's not just coincidence that I've talked to like 4 people this week asking me about this. So we could, if you're worried about that, and I'm not, I've tested enough, and I'm don't care what the arrow does without fletching on it. But I told somebody, if you're really concerned about it, we can reverse that twist if we make your string and twist it counterclockwise, and in return that would make your arrow rotate to the right bare shaft. Or you could take a regular string and put left helicals on it, which I do it because it makes the fletching twist away from your face, and I feel like, if you're worried about any kind of contact or anything, but they're really not twisted until they get out of the bow anyway, so all that's just hearsay. But yeah, so most strings, I don't know but of one company that twists them what I call backwards, but counterclockwise out of the box, and I know of like every other one twists them like we do. But if for whatever reason you were worried about that and you order a string from us on the old archeryshackstrings.com, put it in the notes. I want my arrow to twist to the right, bare shaft, please counterclockwise twist it, and we can make it happen. But I really don't think it's something you should worry about.
Mm-mm.
Just my opinion.
And the last thing I have is heavy arrow build calculations.
Lately, we've had a lot of people, and I say lately, really of the past year and a half,
Yeah.
want heavy arrows, and that's new to me. I come from everybody wants speed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not heavy arrows. So I'll tell you what I was going to do. I'll do it while we're sitting here. And I had in mind, and this could even evolve into a Tech Thursday build. I think it's the Black Eagle Rampage. They making a 150 spine.
Yeah, it's like 16.1 grains per inch.
Let me look it up real quick. I was just going to calculate what we could do without getting super way out of whack. Let's see. Rampage.
It's 16.1 or right at 16.
Yeah, I was thinking so. Yeah, 16. Have you got a calculator handy? I'm going to calculate just on a 28-inch arrow.
All right, go for it.
Do 16 times 28. And then we're going to add some other stuff too. And then go ahead and add 12 grains for a knock. About 6 grains for fletching. And then let me see what kind of brass stuff we could put together here.
You could run that focus system.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I was just trying to come up with a rough total arrow weight, like if we built something super duper heavy without getting too wild.
Yeah.
I'm scrolling here. They got a regular brass insert. Let me click on the...
I think the brass is 50. Well, that one's going to be a little different because that Rampage takes a half out.
That's true. I can't find the focus system on the website.
In which really the focus is more front of center, but that's what you're going for with these heavy arrows too anyway.
Let me click here. Maybe this is it. I bet we could really get some... Where is it at, people?
What you think about running up front? 150 total weight?
Yeah. What would that put us at 150?
616.
Still not quite as heavy as I was thinking. I was trying to think of how to get around 800, but
Let's do this.
I can't find the focus system on the website. We're looking, people. Don't leave us yet.
I mean, right now at my draw length, which is 30 and a half, depending on the bow, I mean, without an insert or anything like that, we are looking at 498.
$498.
And I mean, even with 150 grains up front, you're looking at 648 total grain weight.
That's not bad. I was trying to get anyway, I'll quit looking. I can't find what I'm looking for, but I'd love to build like between a 700 and 800 grain arrow. Now, obviously, it would be way over spine, but typically you can make a lot of bows agree with an overspined arrow, but not an underspined arrow. So I would like to build that. I'd really like somebody to come in with like an 80-pound harsh cam of a bow and let us build that for them and just see if we could get it, say, around 250, 260 out of 80 pounds with a 700 to 800 grain arrow. If we could get that, man, that'd be a hard-hitting joker right there. But
you ain't lying.
I mean, it would hit. We need to, here's what we ought to, I need to YouTube this. It's probably already on YouTube. We need to make something that can measure, I know we can calculate kinetic energy, but we need something when the arrow hits it, it measures kinetic energy on impact, not out of the bow. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool.
You can do force plates.
I don't know nothing about that.
If anybody out there knows anything about science, I know Mythbusters use them to measure foot pounds.
If any of y'all are scientists, we need you to call us.
But
I'm on, no joke, I'm on YouTube it tonight because that's got me wondering. That'd be a neat test.
Yeah.
A neat test to do. That'd be a heck of a Tech Thursday.
What are you
Hold my beer and watch this. I'll be shirtless and you wear a wife beater.
Yeah.
And
do you want to lose all of our subscribers?
No, I guess we better not do that. We'd either get a whole lot of women wanting to see our nipples, or we'd lose them all. So, anyway.
We'd probably lose them all, and we'd probably both lose our wives.
Hopefully they're not watching. Anyway, we'll end this podcast, I reckon.
Yep.
It's been a big rabbit trail of talks, but
yeah,
it was fun.
It was.
We'll see y'all next week. And again, our schedule has changed over the past couple of weeks. We got our podcast coming out now on Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. We got our Tech Thursday at 6:30 p.m. going live in roughly for 30 to 45 minutes. And then it posts to YouTube so you can watch it later if you need to. And then we've got our regular video, which ranges from a bow review to us shooting to a tune to a restring. And that comes out on Sunday evening at 9 p.m. So thank y'all for watching. If you got buddies you think this would they'd be interested in our stuff here, shoot them an email or a Facebook thing and tell them to subscribe. If you're new to our channel and you don't think we're a bunch of dumbasses, or even if you do, click the old subscribe.
Yep.
And if you need anything, give us a holler. Let us know in the comments if we can do anything for you. And don't forget to comment a number to get these Rage Broadheads when we give them away in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever that ends up being. So thank y'all for watching.
Yep.
See you next time.
Have a good one.